Oh, this is like my fourth time trying to make this video. Lawrence, Russian nihilist. You keep sending me videos, sharing them with me from your UFA comedy channel, your tech deck tutorials, and the greatest heavy metal songs of all time, some of which aren't even heavy metal. Those kinds of things don't interest me, my friend. I would rather watch you on your Russian nihilist channel where you talk philosophically and engage the audience on some level in an intellectual discussion. So don't send me those videos anymore. The reason that I bring this up is because I'm gonna stop talking to you and start talking to everybody else in my audience now, if that's fine with you. The reason I bring this up is because of Lawrence here. I'll link his fucking channel in the sidebar, by the way. Because of Lawrence, I will usually not even check my inbox anymore whenever it says that somebody's shared a new video with me. But today I did, and I had two new videos that were not from him, and they actually had to do with what I'd taken interest in, which would be God versus there not being a God, which I'm going to do a response to one of those right now. The first one is from Veritas Truth, or if we're going with the more traditional Latin pronunciation, Veritas Truth, or Veritas Truth, because you gotta roll the R. Veritas, Veritas Truth, you better be fucking watching this video right now, because I'm making it for you. You fucking showed me this video, and this is a response to that video. You better be fucking watching. I don't know why you sent me this particular video. It's got a lot of cliched arguments in it. Theists propose them all the time. Atheists shoot them down all the time. You know, the usual. But I will refute his points briefly. In my previous attempts to make this video, I have played that other one, and then refuted it as it goes along. But I really kind of don't want to do that right now because, first of all, it's very monotonous, extremely monotonous, I'm not gonna lie, and I just don't want to go through that again. And second of all, last time I actually, the reason I didn't upload the last video like this that I made was because it went over the time limit by a significant amount of time, because I played that other video. So I'm just going to briefly state all the points. If anybody wants to see that video that I'm refuting, I'll link that in the sidebar as well. And if you have any counter-arguments to what I'm saying in this video, you fucking comment or post a video response of some sort, because I am genuinely interested in what you have to say. So let me try to remember what exactly the video was about. The video was called, let me see, The Existence of God Proven. It seemed to be hung up. First of all, it starts out like this. The universe had a beginning, and anything that has a beginning was created by, had something to cause that beginning. Therefore, it must have been created by something else, i.e. a creator. Now, of course, the whole concept of the universe having to have a beginning is really hinged upon the idea that the universe is a finite event. There's been a finite amount of time that's passed while the universe was in existence, and the main evidence offered up in this video is entirely philosophical. It's impossible to transverse an infinite number of points, by which I guess this fucker, I'm not calling him a fucker because I don't like him, I call things fuckers. I actually looked up the word fucker in the dictionary once for shits and giggles, and one of the definitions was any person or thing. So, this fucker, he said, you cannot transverse an infinite number of points, etc., etc. He used an analogy. There are an infinite number of theoretical dimensionless points between my thumb and my forefinger, yet I cannot force an infinite number of sheets of paper between them, no matter how thin they are, no matter how hard I try. Well, that's because, good sir, sheets of paper have an actual dimension, unlike these points which are, as you yourself said, dimensionless. Don't know why I did that. But yeah, your analogy is flawed there. Next, you move on to the analogy of the library. If you're moving your finger across a row of books at a library with an infinite number of books, going page by page, you'll never get to the last book. That's because the last book doesn't exist. And yeah, you'll never get to the last book. And and you claim that this is relevant because you're using it as an analogy for us to get to today. You're saying that if there's an infinite number of points of time in the universe, then if we go point by point, we'll never get to today. This analogy also makes some very ultimately false assumptions. First of all, you're assuming that in your library example that you started at a page and you're going. If that were so, your premise is that there's an infinite number of books in the library, then there is no last book, which is why you'll never get to the last book, because there's an infinite number and you started somewhere. But your logical fallacy is here is that you're assuming that you have to start at a particular book and then go from there, which is essentially what you're trying to prove. So that's tautological. You can't use a tautological argument and still have it be valid. And second of all, regardless of whether you started somewhere or not, like I said, the reason we'll never get to the last book is because the number of books is, in fact, infinite. There is no last book. And today is not the last day. Time will go on after today. Think of it this way. If you have an infinite number of books in a library and you're going down them page by page, then wherever you happen to be in this moment in time, that's where today is. Today is not the last book. Today is where your finger happens to be in that span of time. So that analogy is flawed as well. And seeing as that analogy is really the crux of your entire video, you don't have a leg to stand on, I'm afraid. Now, I don't want to sound arrogant, so I'm definitely inviting anybody to refute me. Comment section or response section, I will not block your responses, and I will not censor your comments. But if you troll, I might troll back, I might not, whatever. And finally, let me conclude this, that if you were to prove that the universe was finite, which I'm willing to accept it is, I mean, it's not too hard to accept that the universe is finite, you'd have to prove that the laws of physics were the same back then when the universe was started as they are now, which again I'm willing to accept because it seems to be sort of standard default position. Then that means that a creator had to have created the universe. Something had to have created the universe, and you define this as a creator. Let's sidestep the commonly asked atheist question of where did this creator come from, because everyone's probably sick and tired of that by now. What I want to ask is this. You define this creator as whatever created the universe, yet your video is entitled, The Existence of God Proven. Even if you were to prove that this creator existed, keep in mind the creator is just whatever created the universe. You put forth no evidence that this creator had intelligence of any sort, and that he was anything like the God that you worship, or that it was even a he and not an it. I could say that the universe was created by a natural process, and according to your definition of what a creator is, that natural process would be the creator and not God. And you're really abusing semantics here, because you throw around the word creator when commonly accepted the commonly accepted definition of that word is God, which you fail to. You make some argument for the existence of something that created the universe, but none for actually God. So yeah, that's it for this video. Once again, Veritas, Truth, whatever you want to be called. Thank you for sharing this video with me. Actually, it's good to know that people out there are taking an interest in what I have to say. Even if I only have like 21 subscribers, I mean that's still something. And people like you sending me. You're not subscribed to me, but you sent me this video, so I thank you for that. You better be fucking watching. And yeah, peace the fuck out.